I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times. It's Wednesday, December 2nd. There were some happy faces and some unhappy faces at the state health department today. A lesbian couple that had to go to court to get the ability to put their names as parents on a child's birth certificate were able to get that birth certificate today thanks to a ruling yesterday from Judge Tim Fox. However, another couple that thought perhaps they could be brought in under the same ruling tried to get a birth certificate and they said, sorry, you'll have to come back another day. We'll take your paperwork, but we're not ready to process it. The health department says to amend a birth certificate now to include same-sex parents, they're going to apply the same rule they apply to heterosexual couples, which is that you have to have a court order first. The state, Attorney General Leslie Rutledge, by the way, intends to continue to appeal this. The state seems set to fight any opening of new routes to equal treatment for same-sex couples despite the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling on marriage equality. Last night, the City Board of Directors raised the hotel tax by 2 cents on the dollar. The money will go to help the Arkansas Arts Center. Mayor Mark Stodola said they hope it will underwrite a bond issue. Voters will have to approve that bond issue in February to do a big bond issue to rebuild the entire Arts Center. The mayor says he wants to see the money go to the Arts Center in any case, even if it can't be for the full project. I hope that we get a firm commitment from private contributions before this project is underway. I hope, too, that this unprecedented infusion of public tax dollars into the Arts Center produces a more democratic operation of the Arts Center than has been customary in the past. It's generally been the province of a club of wealthy art supporters who are supporters of the Arts Center but not necessarily representative of the community at large. That needs to change with this money. A highway contracting group released results of a poll yesterday that shows Arkansas voters love good highways, would like for highways to be better, want more money spent on highways, love legislators that'll spend more money on highways, but they don't want to pay higher taxes to do it. This fits with Governor Asa Hutchinson, who says he wants a highway plan too, but not one that requires any new revenue. That, of course, means taking the money from somewhere else. And these voters seem to say in the poll that they're happy to take money from other services, be it education, prisons, colleges, or health care. So there you go. This comes, by the way, on the monthly revenue report that shows state tax revenue is down a little bit from a year ago. Not exactly robust, not a good time to be borrowing money from one place to spend on another, but that's what governors are for. He'll have to make that decision. The governor, by the way, today released a consultant's report on the state's process for enrolling and determining eligibility for certain welfare benefits, particularly Medicaid. They confirmed that it's a mess and it needs a lot of fixes, and the governor has set out a number of ways in which he hopes to fix the system, promises it won't happen again. We'll see. It's a big, complicated program that involves a lot of money, and a lot of needy people depend on it. Last night in Conway, the Faulkner County Election Commission, now majority Republican thanks to last year's election, decided they'd eliminate voting places at Hendrix College and the University of Central Arkansas. Coincidentally, young people tend to vote Democratic, not Republican, which is now the controlling flavor of the Election Commission. Students rose up in protest, and the Election Commission backed off the proposal. They needed a unanimous vote, however, and I don't think the Democratic Commissioner was ready to go along with shutting the door on voters at the two big college campuses in Conway. But that's politics in Arkansas today. John Boozman, the U.S. Senator, the Republican, faces a Democratic challenger this year, Connor Eldridge. The Democratic Party nationally thinks it can make some headway by pointing out senators on the Republican side who vote to get rid of Obamacare and throw tens of thousands of people off the health insurance coverage they won thanks to the Medicaid expansion. John Boozman didn't sound concerned. Politico quoted him as saying he had no qualms in throwing people off health insurance coverage, tens of thousands of them even, because that's what the people in Arkansas want. They just don't like Obamacare, and frankly, the polling done by the Highway Group tends to support that point of view. Unless those poor people are thrown off vote, things just might well happen that way. There's big news bubbling. I'm not ready to talk about the details yet, but I expect news today, probably, maybe by tomorrow, on an ongoing major federal public corruption investigation that's already produced 2 guilty pleas and bribery charges, more expected very shortly. And finally, for your reading, go to arkansasblog.com and you'll find a link to a New York Times story about a new exhibit at Yale University on the Japanese internment camps in World War II. Of course, there were 2 in Arkansas. The article is particularly interesting because it features the long-lost diary of a Japanese man who spent some 3 years in an internment camp in Arkansas. He was an American. He happened to be of Japanese ancestry, but he was treated like a prisoner of war for some 3 years. His reading is mundane. It was hot. The food wasn't very good, and it was terribly boring, and it was not a great thing to do to Americans, and it's something worth considering even today. However, 70 years later? I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.
You feel it in your heart. The spirit of Little Rock. We've had that spirit since 1927, helping build our city by producing decades of leaders in the heart of our state. We are the heart of business and innovation, the heart of politics and government, the heart of arts and culture, and in our city beats the heart of a Trojan. UALR, we are Little Rock's team and Little Rock's University.